Well, buenos dias, good morning. It's a pleasure this morning to introduce a double act for my two German colleagues, Sandesh Kulkarni and Peter Irwin, from the Max Planck Institute for Extraterrestrial Physics. So I'll give you their potted biographies. Sandesh was born in Mumbai. He did his bachelor's degree, his BSc at Ruparel College, and his master's degree in Pune University in physics and astronomy. And now he's doing his PhD at the Max Planck Institute under the guidance of Dave Willman, who was going to be here but is not well, and Roberto Saglia. So Sandesh will give the first talk. And then there's Peter Irwin, who is an old friend of the IAC because he spent some time, years here. He was born in Pasadena in California. Why did you ever leave? And he attended university at the Wesleyan University. He studied astronomy and medieval history. And we were talking yesterday, and he explained that his astronomy thesis, major thesis, was on T-Tauri stars, which were at about 300 parsecs away. So actually, the light from them was being emitted at the same time as the medieval history that he was studying. So really, it was actually only one course, really. That wasn't planned out. Anyway, he did his PhD at Madison, Wisconsin, with Linda Spark. He did a postdoc at the IAC, and he's now at the MPIE, Max Planck Institute for Extraterrestrial Physics. And they are here because we've had a meeting this week on the HAGGIS project. They will describe that, or at least Sandesh will describe it, and Peter will give a technical talk somewhat related to it. Yes, okay, a bit related to it. And the questions will be halfway through for Sandesh and at the end for Peter. Okay.
So, thank you. Thank you, John. So I'll be talking about the environments in galaxies, of galaxies, and how it hampers the star formation in star-forming galaxies, basically. So here is the collaborator of the HAGGIS project, and they are situated at MPIE, USM, and Lionel from UNAM in Mexico, and IAC, John and Altemi and all. So first of all, I should give a brief introduction of why environment matters for the galaxies. So basically, gas is accreted to the galaxies from its environment. Also, gas is supposed to it strips off by some environmental interaction, physical interactions. And since gas is important for the star formation in the galaxies, many physical properties of the galaxies is observed to vary with respect to galaxy environments. So the properties of the galaxies in for isolated galaxies is different. It is observed to be different than the properties in galaxies that lie in groups and clusters. So that has been observed since long. So Dressler in 1980s, for example, observed that the fraction of spiral galaxies decreases with respect to the local density in the around the galaxy, and fraction of S0 galaxies increases with respect to the density. So these observations was carried in the cluster of galaxies where the densities, overall densities, are higher. But little have been known for the galaxies that lie in groups since then. And recently, there have been some studies, like the study done by Willman and Erwin, Peter Erwin and Dave Willman, which observed the similar trend of spiral population, fraction of spiral population going down and S0 population going up with respect to halo mass. So they observed that the trend exists with respect to the group halo mass. Bigger the halo, less spiral galaxies, and more S0 galaxies. There have been many studies for groups of galaxies, and especially this George et al. Recently published this paper. They showed that they have plotted the galaxy colors with respect to group-centric radii, and as you can see in this plot, that the galaxies in the center of the group happen to have very red colors. So red means less star formation, or there is no star formation at all. And in the outskirts of the groups, we see that the galaxy population comprises of blue spiral galaxies that are star forming. So this suggests that the environmental interactions or environmental processes that affect the galaxies affect differently at different galactocentric radii. So they came up with two different this cartoon showing that how what are the environmental processes that affect the galaxies in groups and how they affect. So they saw that they put that the ram pressure stripping, that is the pressure exerted by the intergalactic medium on the galaxy, which is moving with respect to intergalactic medium. So this pressure removes the gas from the galaxy. So this is called ram pressure stripping of the galaxy, or the starvation, in which only the outer halo of the galaxy, the hot halo gas of the galaxy is removed. So these kind of processes where the gas is removed from the galaxies, they change the color of the galaxy. But if there are minor mergers, for example, or tidal interactions, they change the morphology of galaxy. The quasar feedback again changes the gas content of the galaxy, and that changes color. And again, major mergers also change both morphology as well as the gas content, and has color and morphology both is changed by these. So these are the theoretical processes, and we know that the fraction of spiral population changes for the it decreases for the galaxies that lie in dense environments, but little we know about how that is, which environmental processes are involved in doing so. In 2004, Balog et al. Plotted this histogram of equivalent width, H alpha equivalent width, which corresponds to correlates with the star formation rate, the specific star formation rate in the galaxies, and they plotted this histogram with this dashed line histogram is for the galaxies which lie in very isolated regions, and the dark line histogram is for the galaxies that lie in the dense regions, and these histograms match quite well. So this suggests that the star formation rate as such in the galaxies is not hampered by the environmental processes, but the fraction of star forming galaxies decreases. So this suggests that whatever processes that affect the star forming galaxies that acts very quickly, so that we don't detect the change in the star formation rate of the star forming galaxies. But this was done with the fiber spectroscopy of SDSS, which only gives the information about 3 arcseconds in the inner 3 arcseconds of the galaxy. So there could be some observational bias in that. So in 2010, Willman, Zibetti, and Godavari plotted the U minus R color distribution, and you can see that the blue and red peak for the galaxies, the distribution of blue and red peaks changes with respect to environment for a fixed luminosity. So this suggests that there is a subtle difference between galaxies, blue galaxies, in different environments. But this is very subtle difference. So we wanted to study it in more detail, and we came up with this project called HAGGIS, which is H-alpha Galaxy Groups Imaging Survey, where we observed around 100 galaxy groups in nearby galaxy groups in narrowband H-alpha, and we observed such that we observed the galaxies in 2 narrow bands. So one narrow band is used to get the H-alpha emission, raised from H-alpha emission of the galaxy, and the other narrow band is used for the continuum of the galaxy to subtract the continuum from the H-alpha. So we use different pairs of filters to get the H-alpha at different redshifts for the galaxies, and we used 2 different instruments. One is wide field imager on ISO 2.2 meter telescope, LASIA, and the other is the Issac Newton Telescope here in using wide field camera. So we used wide field cameras to observe the whole group at one time. So these the field of view of these these instruments are around 30 arc minutes, so that we can get the whole group at a time. And these group definitions are taken from catalog of Young et al. 2007, where they give the halo masses of the groups and all different properties. And they found this. They made this catalog from the SDSS spectroscopic sample. Okay, so far so good. This is the subsample of the HAGGIS sample. This is not the complete HAGGIS sample, but still it comprises of many galaxies. And so we have the galaxies in H-alpha and continuum. We wanted to subtract the scale the continuum image, and then subtract the continuum image using. So we match the BSF and all this kind of stuff. So one thing in data reduction we wanted to do accurately is to scale the continuum image to the H-alpha image, and we tried with the different techniques. And when we tried to scale the two narrow bands to each other, we found that using stars. We found that there is a relation of flux ratios of the stars with respect to their optical colors. Maybe it's G minus R or R minus I. So there is a relation. So because each star has different spectral shape, and that's why the flux ratio of each star varies quite a bit. And if we want to do more accurately for the individual galaxies, so this red cluster, sorry, so this red cluster of points here is the relation of flux ratio for elliptical galaxies, which quite follow the stellar relations. But as you can see here, these are the star-forming galaxies, and the flux ratios are different from the stars. For these galaxies, the flux ratios are different. So we went on to different. We did our flux scaling and continuum scaling of the galaxies with the different novel technique. So what we did is we used SDSS spectra for these galaxies. Since these the groups are defined from the SDSS spectroscopic sample, we have SDSS spectra for most of the galaxies in these groups, and we did flux scaling of the 2 narrowband filters using SDSS spectra. That was okay, but we also wanted to correct for the spectral shape of the galaxy, and hence what we did is we fitted a continuum to the SDSS spectra then got flux, then convert the on band, that is H alpha narrow band, with the continuum of fitted continuum to get the flux in the continuum in the on band, and then compared it with the 3 arcsec aperture photometry on the off band, that is not that is the continuum band. When we compared the so we got the scaling relation for the continuum in the on band from the observed off band. So with that, we scaled the continuum band accurately to the continuum in the on band. With doing so, we corrected for the shape of the spectrum. And what we got after doing this is pretty novel. So we now detect H alpha in absorption, because we do the continuum scaling so accurately that the H alpha absorption, the stellar absorption underlying the H alpha emission, is also we can also detect that where there is no emission. So as you can see for this galaxy, this is the continuum image. This is the H alpha image in absorption after continuum subtraction, and here is the SDSS spectrum overplotted with the two filters with which we observed. So this is the I think this is a very good that we get with this scaling, that we get the H alpha in absorption, so we can get more information out of these observations. So width of the filter varies. So these are the two filter combinations. For these three filters, the width is around 10 nanometer, and for this it's more than that, a little bit more than that, 15 something. Okay, so we did continuum scaling, and so far so good. So what we wanted to do with this is to plot the surface brightness profile in continuum as well as H alpha, continuum subtracted H alpha. So what we did is we used IRAF ellipse task in iterative method. In the first iteration, we varied the ellipticity and position angle for the galaxy, and we plotted these two parameters with respect to same major axis. And as you can see in the inner regions for this galaxy, the position angle and ellipticity varies, maybe due to the bar or some structures internal structures in the galaxy. But for the it converges to one single value around for the disk of the galaxy in the outer regions. So we use these outer region values for ellipticity and position angle, and in the second iteration we fix these two parameters to and run the ellipse task, which gives the increases the elliptical annulus and gives the isofocal intensities at the each elliptical annulus. And with that, we can plot the profile of the surface pattern profile of the galaxy with respect to the radius. And in the blue, you can see that it is a profile in the continuum, and in red, it is the profile of this galaxy in the H alpha region, and the black dots are the profile or the noise level in the using the blank sky region. So far, so good. So we got these continuum and H alpha profiles for most of the galaxies, and we tried to distinguish different types of profiles. So these are some of the types. We have got more types while we are here in the meeting. We are still distinguishing the profiles. So these are some of the types. So what we got is in the inner region for this galaxy, for example. Yeah. So for this type of galaxy, we get in the inner region, as you can see. sorry. In the inner region, you can see the red color this is the H alpha profile, and the red color corresponds to the emission, and green color corresponds to absorption. So in the inner region there is emission, in the intermediate region there is absorption, and there is emission again. So and you can see that in the image as well. In the very central region, it's emission, then absorption, and then emission again. So this is one type. There are some profiles where there is a inner dip, then exponential, then absorption, then emission again. So this is the equivalent width profile, which is the ratio of the H alpha to the continuum, and you can see that in equivalent width as well. So equivalent width negative corresponds to emission, and equivalent width positive corresponds to absorption. So this is one type of galaxy we found, that it has intermediate absorption region. Then there are other types, like the central absorption, then exponential region, or there is a bump in the after the central region. So these kind of different types we observed with our profiles. Then central dip, then exponential. We got this kind of types. And as you can see in this black line is the noise level. So we believe the profile up which is above the points which are above this noise level. So whatever this profile is, that it could be the residual sky level or whatever. We don't believe that. Then central flat, then a peak, and then exponential. So there are different kinds of H alpha profiles we observe in these galaxies, and the next step will be to see in which environment which type of profile dominates. So what is the dominant type of the profile at different environments? So this is the one profile where there is a central axis, then exponential, and again there could be two exponential or one bump and exponential. So most of the times this central axis corresponds to the bulge region, and we can see that in continuum profile sometimes not. And there are some H alpha profiles which have very steep exponential, which corresponds to the truncated H alpha disks. So we have all these types of individual profiles. We went further, and this is the absorption, all absorption profile. So when we went further, we binned our galaxies into stellar mass and halo mass. We made 8 bins, 2 in stellar mass and 4 in halo mass, and then stacked each the H alpha and continuum profile together, and to see if there is environmental dependence on H alpha and continuum profile. So we excluded the pure absorption profile from the stacking, and you can see that there is a little to no evolution of absorption profiles with respect to halo mass, but you can see that there is some evolution. I mean, this is in the lowest halo mass there is 24, and the highest halo mass there is 31. So there is a little evolution. Okay, so these are the plots for the lower stellar mass galaxies in these groups, and this is for the lower halo mass, and halo mass increases like this, and this is the highest halo mass group, and you can see the halo mass ranges here in the title of the plot. So what you can see immediately from this plot is in the lower halo mass bin, the H alpha profile extends to up to 10-12 kiloparsec, and as you go higher and higher in the halo mass regions, halo mass bins, the profile is truncated, or it goes to noise pretty early. So that suggests that in the highest hollow mass bin, where the galaxies are, where the densities are higher for the galaxies, the outer regions of the H-alpha disks are truncated. So this is for lowest stellar mass bin, and the next one is for highest stellar mass bin. And you can see the truncation even more in this case. As you can see in the H-alpha disk is extended for lower hollow mass greater than 35 kiloparsec. But as you go in higher and higher hollow masses, the H-alpha disks are truncated. This is one result we got. The next result you can see is that in the inner regions, the inner excess seems to diminish with respect to hollow mass. This suggests that whatever environmental processes that affect these galaxies, they change the bulge region, as well as the out regions. So whatever the quenching mechanism that happens, they turn the bulge redder and also truncate the outer disk. Okay, so this is what we got with our H-alpha galaxy groups imaging survey. So this is the preliminary result we have got, and there is a lot of things to be done. And in fact, me and Peter and Lionel we are gathered here in ISC to discuss what next we can do with this type of data. The data is quite amazing. We get H-alpha and absorption, which is quite good, and we can do lots of things. And right now, in this week, we have been doing sorting the different types of profiles and tagging the profiles by their names, classifying the profiles, and doing different kind of things. So this is summary. I leave you with the summary. And question, please.
Thanks a lot. We have a couple of minutes for questions.
So how do you account for the inclination of the galaxy? Because this probably has an effect on H-alpha.
So these galaxies are mostly not edge-on, not completely face-on. So these are selected to be the central galaxies, at least, not to be edge-on and not to be face-on. So we don't correct for the inclination right now, but as you can see.
Other questions? Otherwise, you can also catch him in the coffee. So we switch now to Peter Irwin.